What's up, everyone? We are live at 5 here at Broadway.com. What day is it? It's Wednesday, February 20th. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Andy Lefkowitz.
And over there, we have content producer Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
And one of the funniest people. Okay, I spent the whole weekend with her. She doesn't know I did. But Heléne Yorke is here. I was binging her new show. I watched episodes more than once.
Oh my gosh, the other two
It
guys.
is so good. It's the other two. It's on Comedy Central. Everyone's talking about it. You're going to get into it. You're going to like it too. We're going to talk to her all about it. But first, today's top 5. Cool.
Now you have even more time to step into the newsroom.
Yes, guys, so a second and final extension was announced for Network on Broadway. This is the stage adaptation of the iconic film starring Bryan Cranston and directed by Ivo Van Hove. The production was first extended to April 28th, and now you have until June 8th, which is the day before
The Tony Awards.
Awards.
And Bryan Cranston's probably going to win another one.
Look at that. So check out Network at the Belasco Theater.
And 3 of our stage faves are heading to encores.
So there's a 1938 musical I've never heard of. That happens sometimes. It's called I Married an Angel, right? And you said it's by Rodgers and Hart.
Yes, it is.
And they're doing it over at Encores, and we just found out who will be in it. Mark Evans, Ann Harada, Nikki M. James, Tony winner Nikki M. James, don't forget it. Philip Atmore, Max Baker, Haley Pachoon. Just learned how to say her name. No, I didn't just learn how to say it, but I made a joke about it yesterday. And Tom Robbins. Let's see. And Sarah Mearns, who's a New York City Ballet principal dancer, which is why I don't know how to say her name, is playing the angel. And it's about an angel who descends from heaven to save an unhappy banker, Mark Evans, from his sins. And Joshua Bergasse is directing and choreographing.
And Sarah Mearns is his wife.
Fun fact.
Fun
Yes.
facts.
Thanks for sharing that, Andy.
Damn, man.
This is playing March 20th through the 24th at City Center. And you know what else played at City Center? Grand Hotel, featuring
Yes.
today's guest, Heléne Yorke. And everyone who watches this knows Grand Hotel is my favorite musical.
Sure is.
So just wanted to throw that in.
And this new musical is going to make its East Coast debut.
I'm so excited about this one. So this is the musical adaptation of Benny and June that made its world premiere at the Old Globe in 2017. Yeah, so now it's coming to Paper Mill, which we knew, and we have casting. So some
This
of
is
these
the Johnny Depp movie.
It is
Every
the Johnny
Depp
Depp
movie
movie.
has to eventually become a musical.
That is
It's
that's a
rule.
fair thing to say. I like that. So the cast is going to include Hannah Ellis and Bryce Pinkham, both of whom are reprising their performances from the Old Globe. Claiborne Elder is newly added to the cast, and this is going to begin performances on April 4th and run through May 5th.
What's it about? Because I
Yeah.
just remember not being into it.
Yeah,
It's
so-
about painting. I remember it was like an artist. And
Yeah, so it's about a girl named June who is suffering with mental illness, and Benny, her big brother, and they come across a charming, eccentric stranger who kind of changes their lives.
I think this is interesting because Jack Cummings is directing. And
Yes.
he normally does those Transport Group shows. He's
That's
the head of
true.
Transport Group.
Yeah,
and
super
he does these
talented
very like
dude.
stripped down shows. He doesn't really do big
Yes.
musicals.
Yeah,
That's
so
kind of
this is
interesting.
exciting. I'm pumped about it.
And the iconic Iconis has another show in the works.
So that's Mr. Joe Iconis, you're
Mr.
speaking of, who wrote Be More Chill, which just had a record-breaking week, which we talked
Yes,
about
it
yesterday at the
did.
Lyceum Theater in its first week of previews. He also wrote a show called Broadway Bounty Hunter, which has been around. I've heard of this show
Yeah.
before. This is a musical. I believe he wrote it for an
Annie
amazing
Golden.
person named Annie Golden.
Yeah.
If you know Annie Golden, you're obsessed with her. Anyway, they're doing it this summer off-Broadway at the Greenwich House Theater. Jennifer Werner will direct and choreograph, and it'll start July 7th, and it's a run through September 15th, and Annie Golden will be in it. And it was written by Joe Iconis, and I love this guy's name, Jason Sweet Tooth Williams and Lance Rubin. And it is inspired by the exploitation movies of the 70s. And Annie Golden plays Annie. See, I said it was written for her. Adana Herlock, actress of a certain age, written for her, who is asked to become a bounty hunter and capture a South American drug lord. Now, if I were looking for a South American drug lord, she seems like a good I just saw her in the Bright Lights Big City concert at Fine Science 54 Below.
She's so talented.
Yeah.
And something that's cool about this is her character is named Annie, and this is her second time playing a version of herself. The 1985 Tony-nominated musical Leader of the Pack,
yes.
which is one of the first jukebox musicals, Ellie Greenwich musical.
Yeah.
She played a character named Annie.
Yeah, 'cause it was
based
like-
on herself.
yeah.
Yeah, Ellie Greenwich played Ellie, Darlene Love. Anyway, so it's kind of a cool
And
thing.
she was in the movie Hair, which I was obsessed with.
And
when
she
I
was in the
a kid.
original cast of Hair on
Yes.
Broadway.
Yes.
So many
This is
facts.
like
Go
Annie
Go Annie
Golden, like
Golden.
trivia
So
here.
many
She's in the
facts.
full Monty.
Yeah.
She sings.
Yeah.
It's a woman's world, and
Oh
then
my
she's
God.
and then John
It's
Elson.
amazing.
There's so many things to talk about.
Yeah. So
Annie
go
Golden.
see Broadway Bounty Hunter.
We got to get
off
Annie
Broadway.
Golden booked on here.
Seriously, man. Let's do it.
that.
I got it. Yes, and new casting has been announced for this new biomusical.
Yeah, so as we previously announced, this new Oscar Hammerstein II musical called Sincerely Oscar is debuting off Broadway soon. We found out about a new cast member today.
Go ahead, say his name.
Azudi Onyekudwe.
Is that correct? Did you
Almost
say it
got,
right?
I did get it correct. I apologize. Azudi Onyekudwe has joined the
Yeah.
cast. He is going to be appearing in this musical at the Acorn Theater at Theater Row beginning on March 27th. And this is a show all about the life of Oscar Hammerstein told through the lyrics that he wrote and the music and the musicals he was a part of.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And also on the site, we just launched some gorgeous portraits that Caitlin McNaney took of the new Ferryman cast of them in
Gorge.
costume. They're really fantastic. Check those out. We have first night bows at Frozen for new cast members Brian Redmond playing Olaf, Noah Ricketts, and Joe Carroll. And opening night of Merrily We Roll Along had photos, and there was an Oklahoma event. It's all happening,
Yes,
guys. It's
it's all
spring
there,
season.
happening.
And we might have news about Emmy nominations tomorrow.
Maybe.
About New York Emmy nomination. Last year we won an Emmy award. Broadway.com
Yes,
won an Emmy award for
totally.
our Tony special. And there was a stream this morning to listen to this year's nominees.
Yes.
And I not
Some
believe until I
names
see it
may
in
have
print.
heard.
But we'll
Yes.
have news on that tomorrow.
Totally.
Some
Anyway,
familiar names
it's
were
gonna be
said.
good. Speaking of Emmy-worthy performances, it's time to bring today's guest in. Thank you, Andy.
You bet it, man.
I'll see you when we're done with this. And Caitlin will tell everyone about Helena.
Gladly. Yes, we have Heléne Yorke in the studio with us today. As we said, she's here to talk all about her hit new comedy show, The Other Two. She's, of course, a Broadway vet that has been in American Psycho, Grease, and Bullets Over Broadway. She toured the country with Wicked, too. She's a former Glinda, guys. She's done so much. She's been on TV a bunch, too. The Good Fight, Graves, Family Guy, Master Sex, and a whole lot more. Be sure to follow her at Heléne Yorke and leave all of your questions in the comments below. Please welcome Helena and Paul.
Thank you, Caitlin.
You're welcome.
Hello, Helena.
Hi.
So good to see you.
So good to see you.
I saw you on my screen all weekend.
Oh, well, that's very nice. It's very bingeable if you get it
Oh
all
my
at
God.
once. Yeah.
But there's 4 episodes out right now, and if anything, I was like, I can't wait. Like, I'm kind of freaking out for the next one. I'm so excited.
I'm so glad when you told me that. I was like, that's such a high praise from
Yes.
you, and the fact that you rewatched episodes
Yes,
is
I did.
very
Yeah.
extra of you.
I did.
Yeah.
I watched all of them twice.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and in fact, I was just telling somebody here, I said, you have to watch it. And they were like, I don't know if I have a Comedy Central login. I'm like, let's just do it right now. Let's watch. But then I had to come interview you. So anyway, I'll probably be watching it again.
Truly, when Paul likes something, Paul loved American Psycho.
Yes, I
which
do love
is
American.
how I also knew it was a success. So thank you, Paul.
I appreciate that. You were in American Psycho on Broadway, and the entire Broadway.com office is actually obsessed with American Psycho. That was
So
a
great.
favorite. When we love things here, we love them hard.
It's
so
really
True.
nice.
we bring it up often.
You guys are the best.
Yes, and you were great in Grand Hotel. There's so many things, and Bullets Over Broadway. There's so many amazing things. I always forget you were a Glinda though. You were Glinda on the road.
Yeah, I was the first Glinda on the second national tour
Oh,
of Wicked. Yeah,
cool.
10 years ago.
Wow, look at that. Well, let's talk about the other two because the premise of this show is incredible. Do you mind if I set it up? So
Please.
Okay, you play Brooke.
I do. Allegedly.
Allegedly, and Brooke went to like dance school way back, but she loves bringing that up. But she was a dancer.
Yes.
She is a dancer. And then her brother Carrie,
Yes.
right,
Played by Drew Tarver.
right, who I don't know.
He's
but
a wonderful
he's
comedian. If anybody
fantastic.
listens to Comedy Bang Bang or watch Bajillion Dollar Listing or goes to see improv shows in LA, you can go see him with his improv team at the Upright Citizens Brigade on
okay.
Franklin. He's very funny and great.
He's so great. He's your brother. You two are in New York. You've kind of been here for a while. You're kind of struggling to figure it out. You want to perform. It's not really adding up, right?
Yes.
And then your little brother in the Midwest
Yes.
Molly Shannon plays your mom, by the way, which we have to get to. Your little brother in the Midwest suddenly becomes like a superstar because of a viral video.
Yeah, I Want to Marry You at Recess is the name of his
That's the video. It's adorable. And he accidentally becomes a star. And then you two are kind of like, we love our little brother, but WTF.
Yes.
And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And that's why you're the other two.
We are the other two. We are the other two loser siblings to our super dope much littler brother. And the funny thing is too is that Case Walker, who played him,
Yeah.
he keeps being like, yeah, man, it's crazy. This was my first audition. And me and Drew are like,
So there's some real life parallels here.
Yes.
And actually, I saw all the episodes on Comedy Central. They also have an interview. There's like a little show afterwards. You talk to the creators of the show, and you're on, and you talk about each episode.
Yeah.
And you said that you immediately kind of related to Brooke, that you kind of felt. Now, but I think of you as a successful actress. I've seen you be amazing many times.
But anything that you see is because of the success. You don't see all of the falling and dying that happens in between,
Right.
which is,
Because it's tough.
It's very tough. When I first got to the city, I, graduated from the University of Michigan. Go Blue.
That's a very fancy place to be an actor if you graduate. That's where you want to graduate from.
You even said some names of graduates that are doing things now.
Yeah.
But I got here. I had no money. I was, living in Queens amongst boxes, and then I lived up in Harlem, and I didn't have a couch. And, I used to get on the subway in the morning and go to auditions with, bags filled with stuff, changing in Starbucks bathrooms. And I remember I used to be on the subway and see people commuting to jobs and being like, oh, so jealous because they had 401ks and like maybe, cupboard with full spice racks in it. You know what I mean? And furniture.
Right.
So, you really, it's hard work. You get after it. And it's not like Case Walker, who's like, I came in once and now I'm a regular on a Comedy Central show.
Well, one thing I love also, so Case plays Chase. Just do that math. But,
Sorry, Case Walker plays Chase Dreams.
But what I love, it's great. But what I love about the show is how innocent he is about becoming, and so that makes your character kind of, you can't just hate him. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen over the arc of the episodes, but so far he's just like kind of wide-eyed and he's like a little boy.
Yeah.
So you have that weird like sibling protection of him, but also like you want to hate him because suddenly he's famous.
Yeah, I think it's less about. It's less of what I like that Chris and Sarah, who created the show, did is that it's not about hating him. It's about being like, what am I doing?
Right.
And, where have the missteps been here? But then also with Brooke, it's how can I latch myself to the back of this speedboat and see where it takes me?
Right.
She certainly takes advantage of the situation and thinks of her as a certain thing and is humbled and, has, a development that is not necessarily something she would have expected.
Right. Also, Susan Blackwell was in the pilot. She's like in the first scene.
I mean,
Broadway.com,
nothing
Susan Blackwell.
gets me like a Broadway celebrity. So when Susan came in, I was like, I saw you in Title Show, and I love it so much, and you guys are so great, and it's like so funny and great. And she's like, oh, I've seen you, and I was like, you've seen me in things. Like I remember meeting Laura Benanti, and she's like, oh, I'm a fan of your work, and I was like. And now I like know and have Laura Benanti's phone number,
Amazing.
which is still
Congrats.
insane to me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hid from Sutton Foster once. This is a story that I've tweeted about many times. She came to see Grand Hotel, and there's a recording of her doing that song of doing I want to go to Hollywood.
Of course there is.
Yeah.
On the Maury Yeston album.
And
right?
it's a fabulous recording because that perfect clear voice.
Yes. And that intimidated you?
No, well, I'm terrified of her because I saw her in Thoroughly Modern Millie, and
Yes.
she's a god.
Right.
And so she came to see it, and she was like standing on the little landing at City Center, and I came out of my dressing room, and I was like, oh, people are being nice, and I saw her, and I was like, and I ran into my dressing room, and I was like, okay, I can't do it downstairs. I can't do it downstairs. Sutton Foster's here. Sutton Foster. Sutton Foster. Sutton Foster.
Did you talk to her?
No.
And she's so sweet and unintimidating too. I mean,
don't ever introduce me to her. I will lose it. I can't meet her. I can't. It's too much.
I'm going to make sure you meet her now.
No.
Maybe we need like a younger, the other two mashup.
No, I can't meet her. No, it can't happen. I mean, just the end
adorable.
of Millie, like, that thing called love in her arms. And she's so good.
Your Flemsham was fantastic. But
Thank you.
Also Josh Segarra
Yes.
of Broadway on your feed, and he's fantastic. And,
Yeah.
and that Amy Schumer movie where he was butt naked.
Oh, Josh is also doing a show right now with RuPaul for.
Oh, is he on that show?
He's on the RuPaul Netflix show. Josh is an amazing dude. I've known Josh since I was 22 when I first got to the city.
Oh, wow.
We came up together at the same time, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And, you know,
He plays your ex.
he plays my ex. He's kind of my Mr. Big, if you will,
Right.
but in the sweetest, dopiest way.
Yeah, he's so dopey and yeah.
He's so funny. He auditioned, and this is, you know, a little thing for actors out there. He auditioned for that part, but it used to be a guy that worked at the Renaissance Fair.
Okay.
And they really tailored the role for Josh because he came in with such an interesting thing because he was just completely himself. He did Josh.
Yeah.
And to the point where even all these hell yeahs and some, you know, a lot of ad libs, they wrote words that Josh actually says. So it was a nice way to see an actor have something. If something's tailored to you like that, it's like really special.
It must be nice. And I know you actually we talked about before we came on air, you shot the pilot for this a while ago.
Yeah.
So you've actually been waiting for it to premiere. This has been a little secret inside your brain. You've known that this was going to be a good show. And you were just kind of like, well, I'm sure you were telling people like, hopefully one day the show's going to get out
Right, but
there.
how gross is that to be like, just so you know, it's a big deal. Like, you don't know yet,
Right.
but it's a big deal.
You don't know it, but you're going to love it. And now, just in the last few weeks, you've sort of experienced an explosion of support for it, right?
Yeah, it's
How's it
been
feeling?
really nice. I think we're something, not to be gross, but I'm just so excited about it. And I'm so excited for Chris and Sarah. I think we're at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes or something.
Wow.
People really love it. And it's just, it's exciting because, you know, I'm a Broadway gal. That's where I started, and I went to school for theater. Of course, I said, and I've always looked up at comedy, like people that did SNL and the improv scene and all of that, and even, you know, getting into television was you know, an intentional thing that I wanted to do that was hard. And so to be a part of I remember when I met Chris and Sarah, who created the show, Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider, who were the co-head writers at SNL at the time.
Right.
I was like, ugh, they'll never hire me. There's no way. But, you know.
Because you didn't come from that world.
Yeah, I think in my brain I was like, oh, you know, like a cool comedy kid's going to get this. And, you know, I'm just a dorky comedy kid from theater. But it worked out.
It worked out.
It was nice.
Yeah, and you know, you can be fantastic in a Broadway show, and I've seen you be fantastic in Broadway shows, but then they close.
They do, yeah. The ones that I have been in.
You pour your heart into it, and then they don't make it, and then it's sort of just this thing like, it doesn't live on like this. Like people, for the rest of your life, I can be watching these episodes over and over. I mean, you know.
Well, you can go to Lincoln Center and see all of my work
That's
at
true,
the
but that's
Lincoln
a little,
Center Library.
Well, you have to have a reason. You have to fill out a form.
You have to fill out a form and like give
You
your
have to lie.
baby to them
Yeah, you have to, right,
while
exactly.
you watch
And
it.
you can sit there but not move and don't make any noise. And you're right. You can't like cheer after your numbers and stuff. But you can sit there, but it doesn't live on in the same way.
No,
So-
it's nice and it's cool to be a part of it. And yeah, I mean, but you know, I love it. I'm so proud of it. It's so cool that people are watching it and love it. But there's also nothing like doing a Broadway show.
Of course.
So yes, you do it and then it sort of is like a poof and then it goes. But you show up at a Broadway house and, you know, you think about who's been in there before. And I remember making my Broadway debut in Grease and, you know, I played Marty and
Yes.
I replaced Robin in that and I came out of this
Robin.
whole...
Oh, you were the first replacement for Robin.
For
Harder?
Robin, yeah, because then it was 2008, and then 14 shows closed within a month of each other. Do you remember that?
Yes.
2008, 14 Broadway shows closed as the stock market fell apart, and I came out and I was supposed to be doing this sexy thing, and I just started to cry because there's just nothing like that, and that's a singular moment, and it doesn't change. I think it's always that way.
Do you have any favorite moments out of all of your like stage performances? Like just like certain moments that you loved getting to every night, or that you wish you could like just get up and do again, or?
The Let's Misbehave number that I did in Bullets Over Broadway with Brooks Ashmanskas.
Yeah.
I think if there's one thing I would kill to do, it's to be on stage with Brooks again. Every night I would get to that moment because I got so excited knowing that he was going to make me giggle.
Yeah.
And you can see Brooks right now in the Prom.
1 block from here.
On Broadway.
They
And I'm
can't
just
feel
going to
that,
say
but it's
to
amazing.
anybody who Tony votes that you should vote for Brooks Ashmanskas to win a Tony Award.
I'm down. I'm so down with that.
Cosign.
campaign.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to head the campaign for that. I've decided.
That's great.
But yeah, that one I think.
You could just run up on stage while he's doing his Barry numbers, or Barry's going to the prom, and you could just start doing. That's supposed to be. It could be like a mashup.
It's just nobody's funny like him, and Beth Level in that is so funny, and Chris Sieber is so funny in it, and it's really clever, and yeah, I think it's really good. The Prom.
It's A+. It was the #1 show of 2018 according to Broadway.com.
Oh, thanks Broadway.com.
See, we like the same things.
I know. They said we were top 5 American Psycho was
Yes,
at
American
Broadway.com.
Psycho. I'm telling you, we have good taste over here. Hey, Caitlin, what are the people online saying?
Oh, we got some cues for you.
Oh my gosh.
So Jen wants to know, what is the biggest difference between Broadway and TV?
Well, there's lots of differences. I think the biggest one is the size of what you do. I mean, for Broadway, you're creating a giant picture that people are going to be seeing from far away. You spend a lot of time also in developing a Broadway show in a room with people, finding all of the moments that work, and then getting to test it with an audience and fine-tuning everything you're doing that way. And especially for comedy, it's so nice because you can feel the response and where it's coming from and feel those waves. And TV, it's like having a conversation with you the way I am now. And with comedy TV, you're really depending on like a camera guy watching his shoulders bounce up and down to know whether or not anything's working.
Are you also, when you're doing a show like the other two, are you playing from take to take, and sort of, especially
yes,
because Drew comes from an improv background, and you have a lot of moments with him. Is there a lot of like from take to take? Are you sort of like developing it as you go and trying things?
Yeah, I think that goes for all TV. I would say is that you do a couple rehearsals, and then to be ready for your coverage or whatever. It is you do start to like find ways in which the back and forth start to gel. But then what's interesting with television is that so much of it is dependent on, who edits it later and how the actual scene comes to fruition, and, if it's like close, wide, or, how they end up shaping it in a little room in Burbank later,
Wait, Molly Shannon. We didn't talk properly about Molly Shannon. She plays your mom. That's crazy.
I got the most... So Molly Shannon does not. I always say this. Molly Shannon does not know that she's Molly Shannon, and so she disarms you so much that when you're in conversation with her, you will also forget. But then you will come to in the middle of talking to her and be like, "Holy shit! Hi, I'm such a fan. Can I have your autograph?" But she slipped into my DMs the other day to ask me, because she was like, "Helena, have you seen Come From Away? Should I go see it?" And I was like, first of all, I've seen Come From Away 3 times. Yes, you should go. I love it. A big Kalela fan, as we all are, I'm sure. And then I also pushed The Prom on her and had a little bebop with what I thought she should go see with her daughter. But I was like... you're like DMing with the official superstar, and you're like, oh my God. It's wild. She's such an alive person, and acting opposite her is like having a conversation with her as well. It's dynamic and amazing. She's incredible.
I love the scene when she moves to New York and she's trying to talk like a New Yorker.
Yeah. What? I'm a New Yorker now.
So good.
I love it. Most of our reactions to her are actual reactions to her.
Sure.
She's amazing.
What else, Caitlin?
Yeah, so Aaron wants to know if you have any favorite comedic Broadway roles, like favorite Broadway female comedic roles.
Yes. Oh my God. She's playing the mom right now in she's playing the mom in Mean Girls.
Jen Simard
in the musical that Disaster the Musical.
Oh,
The Nun.
Jen Simard as the nun in Disaster the Musical. I went to that show alone, and I was peeing my pants. I was laughing so hard. Yeah. She was hilarious in that. And she's hilarious right now in Mean Girls. I saw her in Mean Girls.
I haven't seen her in Mean Girls yet.
She's great.
She's so great. Oh my God, Jen Simard is a genius.
I love what a theater nerd you are. It's fun.
Yeah.
What other tips do you have? Are there anything you're excited that's coming up? Because when
I'm excited about Hadestown.
Yeah. Oh, I saw it in London.
I really want to see Hadestown. I'm really excited about that.
I
love Hadestown.
Is it Hadestown?
Hadestown, like Hades.
I saw Oklahoma at St. Anne's Warehouse, and I'm very excited they're coming to Broadway.
Yeah.
I'm seeing To Kill a Mockingbird on Friday.
Okay.
I'm very excited to see that. I missed The Ferryman with the full Irish cast.
But you still got to see it. It's the best thing ever.
I've heard it's incredible.
Right.
What else am I excited about? Oh my God. What else am I seeing? I think it's so cool that Be More Chill is coming to Broadway as well. I think that's awesome that they're doing that. Those are the things that I can think of.
So you
like,
want to
quick
do
rapid
Broadway?
fire.
Like you're in. Like
I hope so.
I mean, the ideal scenario would be to do both, right? Do you,
I
you
wanna
filmed
do a
this in
play.
New York, right? Did you film?
I filmed this in New York. I filmed it for 2.5 months.
Okay. Is
So
there talk of a season 2 yet?
We got picked up
Confirmed?
for a season
good.
2.
Yay! Awesome.
So we shoot that in the summer. So
Great.
yes, I'm available.
So, but that's nice. That's comfortable. You know, like you have a comfortable. You can like relax a little bit. Do
Yeah.
you feel that way? Yeah.
It's one of those weird catch-22s also as an actor, is that, you know, if you know that you have this thing going on,
Yeah.
it just sort of makes you feel easy about everything else instead of worrying about paying for bread. Because that's all I eat. It's an all bread diet. I don't know if you've heard about it.
I love that.
I'm on
It's
it.
going great.
What else, Caitlin? Do we have one last question?
Yeah, sure. We can do one last question. And Josh asks, do you see any musical moments coming to the other two?
Yes,
Uh-oh.
there is a musical moment. Not this episode, on this tomorrow,
Episode
the week
6?
after,
Okay.
episode 6.
Okay.
I do a little dancing.
Oh, okay. Well,
Which
Brooke's
I
a
was very
dancer.
much like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna learn this so fast, but it's full hip hop, and I was like, this is hard. I'm like, is there a bevel in here anywhere? I just want to do a quick bevel and a kick, but
Oh my
no.
God. I love it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So there's 10 episodes total.
10 episodes total.
So I still have a lot of pleasure coming. And if I watch them more than once, I have a lot of viewing still ahead of me. I'm so excited. So the show is on Comedy Central on, you said Thursday
Thursday nights at 10:30 after Broad City, which check out their last season, is also awesome.
By the way, it's a little dirty, the show, in a really good way.
Yeah, so stay up. You're up.
And then you can watch it online, and you just consume it. Get into it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Helena. It's good
Thanks,
to see
Paul.
you.
It's so good to see you. Thank you for having me, Broadway.com.
You can come anytime you want. And if you ever need bread, just stop by.
Oh, great. My God. Bye.
Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. We are live at 5 every single day on Facebook. You can listen to us in a podcast version by searching for #live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talk to Caroline Bowman of Kinky Boots.